Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store in Richland. Now's the best time of the year to save more with Mahindra, and it all starts with zero. Pay zero down and 0% interest up to 60 months. That's more for less on many of Mahindra's best-selling models, with tractors that deliver more lift, capacity, fuel efficiency, and built-in weight. So get zero down, 0% interest for up to 60 months on Mahindra, the world's #1 selling tractor, Mahindra, available at the Tractor Store in Richland.
Mike, when you look at your performance tonight and what you guys were able to do, I mean, how much of tonight is kind of a culmination of what you guys have wanted to do as a team and in a complete 60 minutes?
Well, I thought we've had it in us, but as far as getting everything kind of congruent, I think that's been the challenge, and it was a challenge tonight too because again we had kind of a skeleton crew out there, but I was very proud of how hard they played. I thought we executed well. We also had some world-class bonehead football on all three sides of the ball. But I would have to say the thing that I was most impressed with, I thought we competed hard throughout. And if you compete hard, you can overcome some of the bonehead stuff. And then some of the basic execution stuff becomes more explosive.
And just in terms of the ebbs and flows of this year and what kind of the ups and downs, I guess for a game like this, what does this do for you guys as a team just to have a win like this and to come out and win kind of resoundingly?
Well, we're excited. Our team's been excited to play from the beginning. I think there's probably some confidence to be drawn from that, certainly from the film, and because there were some very good plays in this game. Some very competitive plays where guys just played really hard, and and I felt our guys did play like they wanted to play more. I mean, if this game went into extra innings, so to speak, I think we would have liked to have kept playing. But I think that uh, I think part of it is just the whole execution, getting used to the guy next to you, and it's been a gradual process, and we're certainly not there yet. I mean, if you saw some of the plays I saw out there to the negative, no, we're not there yet. But we took a step today.
All right, up next, we'll go to Neil Price.
Season high 151 yards. Was that something that was in the game plan that you wanted to do more this week, or was that maybe a product of the offensive line just continuing to improve and opening up holes and doing some things for you there?
I thought we played better on the offensive line, and I thought our backs did a better job reading the holes and things like that. And I also think that some of the balls we threw early probably opened some things up for us.
Thank you.
Up next, we'll go to Steve Robertson.
Coach, along those same lines about the running game, the wrinkle you did with the fake toss and inside handoff. I mean, what was it about that play that made you feel like it would be successful, and why did you have so much success with it?
It's just sort of a fly sweep's all it is. I've always thought that is a great play. I've always thought that's a great play, and I've seen teams run it, like you say on the high school level where it's their signature play. It's an old play, and so maybe old enough that folks forgot about it. But I thought it played pretty well today. It's got a lot in common with a lot of stuff. It's kind of a draw, or it's the sprint draw. I mean, it's kind of a draw. It's kind of a sprint draw. It's kind of a counter. So I don't know. I guess the hybrid is some good stuff, but it's been around. When Fred Flintstone was quarterback, they had that play, and Fred was pretty good at that play. So anyway, we decided to break it out.
Up next, we'll go to Joel Coleman.
Mike, that y'all's first score, I guess Paul Blackwell recovers the muff punt maybe in the end zone, and kind of felt like the dam broke, so to speak, at that point. And just from then on, you guys just kind of rolled. Was there kind of that feel on the sideline? I mean, was that kind of I guess how big of a moment was that for you all to kind of catch your breath and get going?
Well, I felt like we were excited to play from the start. And then, that first series, I thought we were really rolling that our first defensive series, and then, had got a mishap that I thought maybe we could overcome better, but certainly, yeah, you can do your own observations on that. But and then, so then kind of went in the tank the rest of that drive. But I thought we attacked the adversity of that and attacked their offense after that, and it worked out.
Up next, we'll go to Tyler Horka.
Mike, you mentioned that first drive. Obviously, you don't want to lose a team captain on the second play of the game, but Missouri does go down and score. But then it seems like you guys kind of just put that behind you and rallied. What can you say about your team for doing that? It's not an easy thing to lose a captain and still play the way they did, I'm sure.
I was proud of the way they played. I thought they played competitively, and that's the thing is, we have been competitive really all year in practice hard, play hard. We just do it incongruently. We just do it in spurts and sort of segmented. I mean, we're a young enough team as it is, and then when you have all kinds of contact tracing and all that business and interruptions, then then it splinters it further. So I think sometimes it's tough to get a 10 over the circus when that happens. And so then I thought that, but we have been making steps that way, and it looked better today. It's certainly not perfect, but I thought we were aggressive, competitive, and again, I was really proud of them for that.
Up next, we'll go to David Murray.
Coach, a couple of questions about the running game. You mentioned the work the offensive line did. How much more comfortable are Marks and Johnson getting in this, as you'd indicate? Are they more patient, or are they just taking their time and looking for what's there instead of forcing something?
I think they've gotten better at seeing the grass. I think they, are starting to get into a bit of a rhythm. A really good running back, if you see, always kind of has a rhythm about him. I mean, lines up and just kind of explodes out of his stance and, comfortable enough to really hit the hole hard. I think we're getting better at that.
Another question, even though you don't like your quarterbacks to run a lot, do you think that Will Rogers' first scramble, 18 yards, which, by the way, is the second longest carry of the whole team this season, did that open anything up with Missouri that you saw?
Maybe, but they played a lot of man anyway. I actually thought he could have run it more, to be honest with you. We're asking him to read the field, which that's the primary thing we want him to do. But when their backs are to you when their backs are to you, and if you're protecting pretty well, everybody's covered, you're going to have some space to run it.
Next, we go to Tyler Horka.
I don't have another. I think you already got me, Josh.
Okay. We'll go to Brad Locke then.
All right, Brad.
No, Brad. We'll skip him. We'll go to Steve Robertson then.
Coach, there's a lot of bowl teams and players that are opting out. I mean, how concerned are you about that sort of thing? You've said all along that you really want to play as much football as you can. What's kind of your message to your team now? Is that's now a possibility?
Well, football is always exciting to play, and that's why I'd like to think everybody signed up in the first place. And but I'm not too concerned about it. But everybody that's excited to play, we'd be really excited to go to a bowl game.
Up next, we'll go to John Sokoloff.
Mike Leach talking with the media
Mike,
downstairs.
how
And
did you
a couple of missed handoffs, so to speak, I guess.
Mike, how did you guys like? What did you kind of say to your team after the third quarter when you kind of got them all together when it was a 2-possession game going into there? What specifically was the message there?
Yeah, just finish the game. You know, we did some good things, but none of it counts unless we finish. You know.
And then you mentioned offensively a little bit earlier, but with Will, how much more with the type of man coverage does he kind of excel with that, and just your offense as a whole?
Well, they kind of bounced between the two. You know, the first half they played a lot of man, some of it with 2 safety, which is a little out of character for them. And then they got to where they're playing that real loose zone stuff. You know, the drop 8 business, um, and they made a run of that. Then we moved the ball on that, and then they went back to man, which you know is kind of that's what they're used to. That's their best what they do best. And then you know some blitz off and on. I mean there was a blitz that was a big play for the drive. They brought a bunch of people. And Cyrus jumped up and caught that post, so that was pretty good there on that particular play because they were really heating him up. And then well then they went back to then they shuffled through some defenses and but you know in the end they played a lot of man, and that's what they do is they play man.
And the last one from me is you guys made it through your full SEC game schedule this year. You played all of your games. I mean, how kind of surprised are you that, or are you surprised that you were able to get through the whole season like a little bit unscathed, I guess, because you got every game in, and how kind of like proud of you guys are you of your guys for actually making it?
I'm really proud of them for that. I mean, you know, because for about 5 weeks we've been under the threshold there. You know, the 53-man threshold. So I think that's impressive, and they're young enough. If we can keep getting better together, well, you know, one day some of these guys may be dangerous to know, and I hope that's the case. And we'll see what happens.
All right, that'll do it for Coach. Thank you, Coach.